Hey, what up? It's Brad with Home Love Construction. Welcome to a special edition of the Critical Path Podcast. We're actually in the Home Love Studios today. How is it, guys?
It's nice. First one, right?
It's nice, right? Yeah, this is the first one we're shooting
Nice.
here. Yeah. So we can call this the Hurricane Edition, right?
The Hurricane Edition.
Hashtag Helene Edition.
Should we knock over a plant just so it looks a little hurricane-ish,
Shake
you
one
know?
around.
Okay, next time. All right.
We'll have Ricky when he's done checking everything. We'll have him come and just turn that over. That's a little
Push
disrespectful.
one over.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's not it.
No, we're getting past like this sensitive period. Okay, so let me introduce you guys. You don't need an introduction because you were just on like 3 weeks ago. But Josh, so this is Josh Martin. I've actually known Josh for like going on maybe like 5 years now.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years probably, yeah.
So-
from the old BNI.
Yeah, so Josh and I were in BNI together. He runs an awesome restoration company. Josh, why don't you introduce yourself, kind of say briefly who you are and what you do?
Okay, Josh Martin, president of Florida's Elite Restoration. Little background, I've been in this industry since I was a kid, since I was like a 17, 18-year-old kid looking for a job. I got into labor work, doing air movers and, the brunt of the actual labor. I went up the ladder. I became a project manager, then an estimator, and then kind of got my, my dug in a little bit. And then from there, I became, I had a friend that was like, hey, why don't you become an insurance adjuster? You make more money, you work from home.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, okay, cool. So that sounds good. So I became an adjuster and I did that for 14 years. I loved it, except I kind of saw the way the industry was going. I saw the way the insurance companies were being. I saw the way contractors were being on the other side of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I want to kind of do something different. I want, and it was, the insurance is so corporate too. It's like, it's purely numbers. You're literally just a number. That's all you are. Like your adjuster might be smiley and friendly and nice, but at the end of the day, you are literally just a number. So I got with my family, I got with my brother and my son. I'm like, why don't we just start our own restoration company? And we kind of saved up our money. We self-funded and we opened up this company 6 years ago. And I thought we'd be like two dudes in a truck, just rolling around. At least I'm not an insurance adjuster anymore. I'd be happy.
Yeah.
And we've just grown. We've probably doubled almost every single year.
Wow.
Now we're about 17 or 18 employees.
Wow.
We have an office in Tampa and Orlando, and we're looking to continuously expand.
That's awesome, man.
So it's a homegrown company.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've gotten to see firsthand how it's changed because since, I didn't realize that you were so new. Like that
When
the
I
company
was in
so new when
BNI,
you were in BNI.
some of us, I was still adjusting on the side.
Really?
Yes, I was doing.
Oh, wow.
I was doing both. I'm like slinging a restoration thing, and then doing my other job on the side until
freaking
until
awesome.
it got rolling.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then Drake, brief recap of who you are for anybody. Who didn't
Oh,
see
okay.
Our amazing podcast.
I was
episode.
listening. I'm Drake Mailhot. I'm an entrepreneur, got 3 businesses going. One is a networking group that I founded, and we all work together to be better, less failure, generates more money for all of us. I have a outdoor living company where I basically focus on landscaping. That's my specialty. That's where my background is. We do a little bit of turf, but also I have a pull-up media with pull-up podcasts, similar to what Brad does. But Brad actually got me into the podcasting
Not
world.
similar in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, just a little bit. We're just a little. We're just
Fancy pants over here.
It's
Yeah.
like,
We're at half the
no, I
budget.
mean, he's got like,
We were half the budget with double the reach, but that's okay. I'm teaching Brad.
He's got Spring Hill Batman on his. I'm like,
National news.
which is great, great.
But and then also too, like, Josh has got to be the best salesman because honestly, and not to hype you up and break off to who I am, but Josh always smiles. He makes me feel comfortable, and I just know it's easy for him to thrive in this world because there are so many used car salesmen.
Yeah.
And insurance. Well, what a scam. I don't know, but I don't know much about insurance. But it's tough. It's a tough world, and right now people don't know who to trust.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second. We'll get a little serious here, and it's awesome that we have you.
Can I say one thing?
You can say whatever you want, Drake.
Yeah, before we get
rules,
too
remember?
deep in the podcast, I want to say, dang, should we bring this up? Josh helped me out.
Wait.
Okay,
Good.
no,
No,
back.
he's gonna do it later.
Later,
Okay, good.
okay.
So
Go. And I was like, man, I shouldn't jump in this now.
no, hold on. It's fine. Context, remember?
ADHD.
Context.
Go ahead.
So that was like when we did a podcast like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Drake would just tell a story with no context.
Yeah.
He would literally tell the story from the halfway point. I'd be like, Drake, hold on. Okay, so we were at this place with these people doing this thing. Now go. But okay, so hurricane.
Yep.
Obviously that just happened.
Yep.
Literally, it's Friday. Was it Was it a week ago?
Yeah.
Thursday.
It was either
Holy
Thursday. It was Thursday
shit.
night. I
Thursday
thought.
night.
So literally
Yeah.
it hit 8 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Dude, it feels like it's been months.
It feels like it's been
already.
Yeah.
Weeks.
Longest
Like-
week of my life.
Yes. No. Literally,
Yeah.
our guys are working. Like we have cots in our office. Let's put it. That
Yeah. So for the average homeowner, so you're a very experienced
way. Yes.
restoration guy. Like you run the restoration company for 6 years now. You have experience on the insurance side.
Yep.
You know kind of the lead up to this.
Yeah.
What should the average homeowner be doing right now? Who
It's-
got flooded?
You're kind of screwed. I mean, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term, like it's just not good. So to clarify, I never did NFIP flood policies. I was like
Right.
a regular homeowners adjuster. So if you had,
What's the difference?
Yeah, context.
So
what? Yeah,
so
definitely.
like the difference is like you might have State Farm, Tower Hill, Nationwide, All State. Those are your like insurance companies. If your house catches on fire, that's who you're going to call.
Yeah.
The flood policies are different. They might be able to like write it somehow, but I never dealt with that. But it's its own animal in its entirety. It's a federally backed program called NFIP, and they fund the flood stuff. Now,
Can I ask a question?
yes,
Is there no private flood insurance?
I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know if
Are there
is.
any that you know of?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Holy
Well, I just
shit.
think, I just think your risk is
So
very
high.
Yeah,
Really?
because each loss is like, big.
Total loss,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
But what
Wow.
they do, so here's what people don't realize is they think, oh, I have flood insurance, cool, and it's not as glorious as that. So
Mm-hmm.
so from what I've seen with these flood policies, they don't pay like what you think they're going to pay. So let's say your house has 4 feet of water, and you think, okay, cool, they're going to come out and they're going to pay the restoration guy a fair shake. They're going to replace everything that's damaged. I'm going to get a whole new house out of this. It's not the way it works. They're only going to replace, basically 4 foot down or 2 foot down, whatever is affected. They don't pay to match, and they depreciate your policy. So if you have truly $100,000 worth of damage and your house is from the 70s or 80s, they're going to depreciate that down to where not only do you have your $5,000 or $10,000 deductible, now they're going to take another 20 grand off the top. So you could be left with like pennies on the dollar, and you're never really put back whole. So they don't even pay our bill in full. Like the flood policies are rough.
Yeah.
That's just people
Wow.
should expect, probably an uphill battle.
Yeah. Now, the way that somebody would go about actually winning that battle would be one of two ways. From what I've seen,
Yes.
would be a public adjuster can obviously help.
Yep.
One, and then two would actually be an insurance attorney, which I think that's actually the much advantageous route to do the attorney route.
I would at that point I'd probably go attorney route.
Yeah,
That I would, the PAs that are listening are gonna hate me for it, but
the public adjuster.
yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I'd probably at that point I'd probably go straight to an attorney. Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason I say that is because the attorney route, the attorney bills the company on the back end. They don't take it out of what you get funded. That's my understanding of it.
Yeah, I think I'm not an attorney, but you'd have to check the laws. I think the laws
Yeah.
recently changed to where, and I don't even know if that applies to flood, but a lot of times it is a contingency. So if they do get money, but the problem is that a PA can only go a public adjuster can only take it so far. So if
Yeah.
it's a run-of-the-mill claim, cool, get a public adjuster, no big deal, because they can help out for sure.
Yeah.
But if you're getting totally, backs up against the wall,
Yeah.
I'd probably just go attorney route and let them take it. Because the attorneys, if the public adjuster isn't successful, they're going to turn it to an attorney anyhow.
Right.
So you might as well just
Just go to the logical
go there. Yeah,
conclusion.
right.
What's the? I'd love
I'm going
to
to catch a lot of hate from the public adjusters on this.
really
And you got to have a little money,
make sure we clip that so that we
Yeah.
can really put it in front of a lot of public adjusters.
Yeah.
So, I want to know from each of you guys, because you've been really out and about. I see you've been getting really out into the community
Oh,
to see
yeah.
people, and I know you're just getting all these freaking calls.
Yep.
What's the craziest thing you guys have seen? Maybe Drake first.
The craziest.
Like,
thing?
what's the most intense situation you've seen where you're like, oh my god? I
Well,
couldn't believe
okay,
this.
and you're saying I have two. Like,
Sorry to be like clickbaity, but I want to know. I'm like,
no. You have two situations. Okay, you got a man with got a man with a little bit of money, Tom Thomas. He has
Oh,
five,
yeah.
He has 5 boats in his backyard.
oh,
He has
dude, I gotta call him.
5 boats sitting in his backyard. He
Oh,
is
my
definitely going to
goodness.
need your help. We're
Yeah,
already
yeah.
going to do some stuff. But then you got people in I've been in trailer parks. First of all, I don't know anything about construction. I kind of know how they put a trailer together now.
Yeah,
You got
it's rough.
you can't cut it on a trailer because of the boards are not going to match up once
Yeah.
they go back in. You got to gut the whole thing out.
Yeah,
so
that's
I
right.
see this lady from Canada without a social security trying to get FEMA to help out with when she's not even a citizen.
Wow.
And she owns this trailer in Hudson.
She's not a citizen. She should be fine.
Yeah, she'll be
Oh my God. So offensive. Sorry. Anyways.
No, you're right. But no, she's from another, and she's so worried about not being able to get help from FEMA and stuff like that. But she just has nobody. And so her house has been locked up for not been locked up, been shut. They haven't gotten the damaged stuff out for 7 days.
Yeah.
You're talking about 7 days.
Does she have flood insurance?
Yeah, I think so. But, again, she's on the insurance.
Right.
And how fast the insurance going to move. I now kind of understand you're screwed because nobody's moving quickly. Right. We don't have power. The lady's sleeping in her car in up north in a area that, bad people could be walking around in. Yeah, it's devastating. And these people can barely recover because you have to have thousands and thousands of dollars. You can't just, even if you rent your place, you can't just move into a place without $7 or $6 grand. And so, and like mold, you pick
it's
those.
Already there.
I'm picking up the seat covers from 5 days old and water's pouring out of it on me. I'm throwing up because I can't be in there that long. I'm throwing up outside because it's so bad. You're soft. Yeah. Maybe, yeah. I ain't no construction guy, I'll tell you that. I'm bagging up insulation. But honestly, too, at the same time, not all negative. You see a lot of people just busting ass, and kicking ass.
Yeah, totally.
One sitting over here, and we'll get into that later, but it's just unbelievable how if you put the back signal out, people just jump on board to help out.
It's true.
And so it's cool to see, but at the same time, it's a war zone out there. I was down in Paso Grillo.
Yep. One of our clients is a repeat clients in Paso Grillo.
Yeah. Wild. Yeah. Okay, so Josh, what's you really?
I mean, like you said, it's a war zone. I mean, it's literally minus the tanks and the missiles and the blood. It's a war zone. Yeah. Like I was at somebody's house like 2 days ago, and I mean, keep in mind, I have an office job. Like I'm not in the field, so like we're so busy. Like I'm out in the field looking at jobs and talking to people. But somebody in Port Richey said that a body washed up in a canal.
Oh no,
that's rough.
Oh my God.
I was looking at a place today, and the lady, elderly, I'm guessing in her 80s or so, she's in hospice care, even though she's at the house. Her family was out of state. She didn't leave her mattress when the floodwaters came in Tarpon and the water got to her bed. Wow. So here she is, in hospice care in her bed, water rising up. And when the family got there, there's still like water in the house. When they open the door, the water pours out. But if it went any higher, she's a casualty. There's people sleeping in their tents in front of their houses. Yeah. That's just, one day you have a home, and the next day you're in a tent, and it's hard to see it. You get a little callous to it because there's just so much of it, and it's everybody's like that. From
you just kind of got to dive in at this point, like all right,
Homosassa down to Paso Grillo. We're getting calls in Sarasota, Ruskin, off of Hillsborough Avenue's flooded. Like everybody's kind of in the same situation. So they're not alone. It's that story you could multiply 1,000 times.
Yeah. Two situations I really heard that really hit home was. And next time, I just won't keep my John boat at home because you can do a lot with a John boat.
Yeah.
A lady.
That was the most useful thing to have. Little John boat.
And a lady with 2 toddlers or 3 toddlers on a kitchen counter. How do you keep 3 toddlers for a high tide lasts for like 2 to 3 hours? Right. How do you keep toddlers out of all, and you're panicking. If it comes higher, you're screwed. And then also my buddy lives in Oldsmar. He started rescuing people that were sitting on top of cars on his John boat. And he says one kid that's 21-year-old had autism. So now he's trying to rescue an entire family, one with autism, and getting him in the boat and keeping him calm. It should. But again, like, what else would they have done? You're talking about somebody with autism on top of a car trying to keep him, as comfortable as possible, and you don't know what you're going to do. So it is unbelievable to see what's going on and what just happened. You don't realize it was this bad until after a few days. Yeah. And compassion overload, I think, is like what you feel. You know?
I was at. I got a call Thursday night from one of our family friends in Arizona, and she's like, "The water's coming in," because we thought. We had a crew going up to Tallahassee because we thought the storm was going to go through Tallahassee, blow some roofs off, and we'd do some tarping or something. Yeah. And then that night, she calls and she's like, "The water's coming in the house." I'm like, what do you mean the water's coming in the house? And she sent me a video, and sure enough, like the tide water's just coming into her house. And I'm like, oh my God, like it's going to be bad. and then the next morning is just the amount of flood claims.
Yeah.
It was, and then you see actually like the extent of it, how far it went was astonishing. Like I've seen a lot of hurricanes, I've seen a lot of storms, I've done a lot of stuff, but this is probably the worst one just from the sheer size and how many people it affected. Is terrible.
Yeah.
There was a doc post and somebody had the water line for Adelia.
Yeah,
Somebody
I saw that. Great post.
That's
It
great
just shows it
perspective.
right there. Boom.
Great
there it is.
perspective.
Yeah.
But what happened? We were not prepared. I went to sleep on Thursday night and woke up and like around 8 o'clock, I finally said, oh crap, there was a hurricane last night. Because I was in a safe place. And that sounds selfish to say, but that was reality because we're Floridians. I'm Georgian, but
it's
now
like
Floridian.
Hurricane, whatever.
Yeah.
Hurricane.
It's another name. We've heard 250 names.
Yeah.
But then I start opening my Facebook feed and my God, how have y'all's Facebook feed changed?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
it's totally different.
Yeah.
So now would probably be a good time to say what Josh did.
Okay. Yeah, and let me tell this, dude. Yeah. No, and Josh ain't the one to brag on himself, so I'll do it.
We know he
him.
won't do it. Yeah.
Josh Martin, Florida Elite Restoration, and the only reason I want to say his company so much because it's not coming from a used car salesman. I feel like could be in his same industry, but Josh Martin, Florida Elite Restoration.
Florida's Elite Restoration.
Okay, well,
Florida.
I had to say it 5 times before Florida's Elite Restoration. I want to say it one more time. Florida's Elite Restoration. Me and Brad said we're going to do a live. I know some people get upset about people saying where they're helping or not, but I believe it brings more awareness. And I believe if you're out doing it, you should be able to brag on yourself. But me and Brad went and did a live to try to generate money. I had 2 donations, and I kind of pride myself, a little bit of an ego of like having people that donate so much, because in 4 hours one time I generated $3,500, but we only generated $350. And I was like, I'm walking away from that, and I'm just like, Brad's always had a positive attitude whenever we're like, I feel like we're down and out. But I thought we could generate so much more money with this. So I was walking away saying, what a goofball. Like, I tried to do this. I only generated this. I want to help so many people, but I felt defeated. I walked away from it. And Josh had texted. I got 2 phones.
Which I just found out.
Josh had texted my work phone.
We're still not sure why.
Okay, it used to be my secretary's phone, but we know she's no longer with us, so I've taken it back
She died?
over. No, she's with us, but she's not with the company.
Okay, sorry.
But no, so I had 2 phones. Josh had texted my work phone, which isn't my old phone, but it's my old number.
Right.
And he said, I want to generate money. And I was like, who is this? I'm just going to put it in my phone later.
Wow, that's where we're at.
It's saved in my personal phone.
Okay.
So he texted me that, and I was just like, okay, I'll get back to this person. We go do the live. Time goes on, and then I think he texted me again.
I'm like, man, I guess he really doesn't want me to donate.
Yeah.
Do you remember during the live, I was like, hey, get Josh on? Like, get him to come on the live?
Yeah, but and I still didn't put 2 and 2 together because I plugged numbers in my personal phone, and it pops your contact up. I said, I'm not going to worry about it. So then I plug his number in. I'm like, okay, it's Josh Martin. I'm like, Josh, hey, man, I'm sorry. Here's my personal number. We would love it. We only generated this much. Now I'm desperate. Dude says, I wish I had my phone so I could read it, but dude says, I want to generate. How much did you want to generate? How much did you want to donate?
5.
5, not 500, not $5, but $5,000. And in a time like this right now, to the average American, $5,000 is a game changer. It can change some people's lives. And, I don't know. I've always known y'all to have a big heart, and I've always appreciated I can't look you in the eyes. I've always appreciated everything y'all have done and how positive you've always been and how you've been willing to help. But just the fact that you donated that money could have done so much. It could. You have kids. I think you have a new. Did you adopt? You adopted.
Yeah.
That money could have went towards their college for their future, but you decided to help out now.
When it's needed.
When it's needed.
Yeah.
In a time that the economy's already struggling. A lot of faith instead of fear. You're not worried about the future business. You're not worried about your future money. But you're like, you see people need money now. That is the most amazing thing and the biggest heart that somebody can do. Dude, if you've seen people's faces and how we changed their life because they had plenty of water, but the fact that we bought them a Gatorade, how thankful they were up in Hudson is unbelievable. Like some of them hadn't ate for 3 days. I'm talking about, I've never went 3 days without eating.
No.
Never had to. I've been blessed not to. So not only did you change my life to make me feel that I could give, which is a selfish thing to say, but we love to give, but now you're changing multiple people. That money went so far and it's still going far. If you need help, contact Home Love Construction if you see this, because we still have a little bit more money that Josh has donated to give.
Like if you need help, like you're in a tough situation.
Yes, if you're in a really tough situation, don't take advantage of it, which I don't think people will do. Maybe they will, but if you really need it, we would love to help out. And the amount of time Monica spent with that money you gave her such a huge purpose to organize all this, put coolers together. A lady texted me last night. She said, I feel like Boo Boo the bear because I get to open my picnic basket. And that she texted me at 10 o'clock at night because she'd been cleaning out her house. Dude, I know you know how much it did, but dude, from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of all those people's hearts and to witness their emotions change. One girl that we helped out, I'm going to say her first name, but I'm not going to say her last name. Her name's Brittany. She had just been in a car accident where her car was totaled. She has lupus. Her dad passed away. Their whole house was flooded. They have multiple kids. She's a single mother. She messaged us at least 3 times, called us 3 times to say how far that money went, especially when you're starting over. So, dude, you're an angel, man. You've blessed a lot of people, and I don't know, how did we get a statue made for you?
And what's funny is like when I text you, that was not like, I did not think it was going to turn into this. Like this is not what it was about. It was,
Of course.
it was about, I saw your post and I was like, man, like I'd like to help out, but like selfishly, I do this for a living, so I can't just give my crews out.
You don't have time.
Yeah, like, and we're so
Yeah.
busy, and I can't go out there and do it myself, and I have to use our equipment because we're already short on that. Like, and it was like, so I talked to, it was real quick in the office. I'm like, hey, I was like, look, they need some money. Can we just donate some money? And it was like, yeah, sure, okay, cool, boom, done. It was like the process was like
Yes.
a 10-second conversation. It wasn't anything. And I would call on other business owners to do too. I mean, I don't know if there's I'm sure there's Red Cross and real charities, but driving around these places, like these people, and I've seen people, business with tents out and giving food and food trucks. I mean, there's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff, but yeah, if there's more needed for sure.
Yeah.
Let me vouch for you too. He didn't ask to promote his business. I'm just naturally going to do that because he does need to be highlighted. But he didn't ask me to promote his business. He didn't say nothing about it. He didn't want no credit. Again, that's so huge. And you've done more for people than anybody else has that I've seen. I haven't seen many people giving $5,000 out. You're one in like a million, you know? So just so you know, it is a huge deal. And you didn't want it to turn into a big deal, but your big heart turned it into a big deal. And that's why I knew it was important to Brad to highlight it, and I definitely wanted to be here to highlight it.
Well, it was also important because Josh actually called me before we went live and told me what he wanted to do. And I was like, oh, let's fucking go. And then I'm like trying to like figure a way to work it out in the live to like try to like promote
Our
it.
live
And then it
was
didn't
terrible,
freaking come
by
up.
the way.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like such an idiot. So I'm glad you're here today so that we can actually highlight it a little bit.
Oh yeah, the live had no sound.
At first,
Really?
Okay,
the first couple.
It got
and like,
fixed. It got fixed after the first couple
God.
minutes.
I was looking, I'm like,
That's a terrible thing.
gave
Video
up.
and audio on lives are terrible, especially when I don't have a team like Home Love Construction.
yeah.
I'm literally doing it. I am no
You're your own
background.
production
Let's go
company.
team. Let's
Yes.
go team.
I have a producer. He's in Tennessee. Can you imagine? He got hit too. So yeah.
Oh no.
No, but no, it was so impactful. And again, challenge other business owners if you have that money, because again, at the end of the day, we're buying crap for ourselves. At the end of the day, it's a lot of crap we buy, you know. And I like nice crap. At the end of the day, it's crap.
Yeah, here's what I would say about other business owners specifically. I've been thinking about this a lot. It's like if you own a construction company, you're actually I think, obligated to give something to somebody now, whether it's like to the Red Cross or whatever like works for you. and whatever you feel would be impactful, because construction companies are going to make, I'll just be blunt, so much fucking money over the next 2 to 3 years. Really. This is going to stretch way out.
You're talking about $10,000 up sales and upcharge with existing projects because they lost so much dirt.
Yeah.
And sand.
Yeah, exactly. And that's literally one person.
One person.
Yeah. So in my opinion, if you're in the restoration space or the construction space, like you got to do something now, because people need it now. They're not going to need it in a year when you have the money.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, it was nice too, though. I mean, when Drake, I think it was Drake the other day, was like, hey, shout out to people that are doing stuff. There were a lot of people that were showcased, because there's a million things behind the scenes that we don't know about. I mean, somebody could have given $1 million for all we know. Like, you know, we don't know everything. So it was nice to see that everybody was shouting everybody out, and you know, there are people that are out there helping.
Yeah, totally.
Can I say this about Scientology?
You say whatever you want.
Okay, so like I saw on a Facebook post, I saw on a Facebook post and somebody was like, Scientology's not helping at all. I can't believe they didn't say nothing. And then, it was, because I'm a Christian and I see a breath of fresh air, I see a Christian comment on there. This is a non-biased opinion. I'm a Christian. I've heard of multiple stories. They came down and offered me help and stuff like that. And there's people that are not loud about it, but there is people always doing, dozens of people vouch for them. And you know what? If you got good core values, don't pass that judgment on people you don't think that are helping, because there's a lot of people not talking about helping. But there is stuff behind the scenes, and there's a lot of good people out there.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was so cool that they seen that. But just assumptions of people not doing anything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah. You know what else is crazy about this is it's kind of like, for us here, there's so much happening in the Tampa Bay area that we forget about what's happening in like Georgia.
Oh, I know. All the way
and
up.
then in North Carolina. Dude, North Carolina is like actually worse than here, from what I've seen. Like
Tennessee,
Tennessee,
Dam broke.
No, I think Tennessee is worse.
Mudslides. There's been people.
Yeah, the videos literally look like they're from, no hate to Thailand, but they literally look like they're from Thailand.
Yeah. Right.
Like they're mudslide videos in the United States.
Yeah.
And
That's
their water
just, like,
still
unbelievable.
hasn't gone down in some areas because a dam broke.
Yeah.
I saw a video the other day that people are standing there in the house with water up to here, just like 12 of them, just standing there.
Where are they going to go?
Is everybody okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You could sleep in your John boat too. That is the secret. Keep a John boat in the house. That's the key.
Yeah.
If you own a John boat, keep a John. Because people will float in their John boats in the house when it flood out like this. Yeah, dozens of videos.
Wow.
If you own a John boat,
Get
crucial,
in,
game
get
changer
in right now.
Yeah, game changer.
Well, man, let's
edit the laughing out. Yeah.
No, laugh's great.
No, but we have another storm coming.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Like actually though, I thought it was just like spun
I
out
don't
and
watch
it
the
wasn't
news,
doing
so I
anything.
have no idea like what it is.
No, I don't think. Got it. I don't think it's gonna actually do anything. I think it just spun out, like just in the Gulf.
rain or something.
I think there's still development, but I just take everything with a grain of salt. Half Facebook, half
Drake the
weather.
weatherman. Drake the weatherman.
Yeah.
So
well, guess what? I'm probably wrong, and that makes me a great weatherman.
yeah, exactly. So Josh, what do you see as like long term? For you and your business, really, what do you think is like the long term implications of this?
I think the whole area. I mean, I think people are going to realize they have a few options, but I mean, they're going to. You repay. I think everybody's going to be out of pocket, like some money. Like I mean.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to. You're going to be out of pocket.
Or you're sleeping in a tent in your front yard.
Right. So it's like your option is to repair. But I would say one thing too. If you're going to do it yourself, be careful with that. Like I know what we do is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I understand. But people that are trying to do it themselves, you're still going to get mold. You're not drying it out right. You're like, there's a lot of people trying to save costs and do it themselves, which is something that's a little scary because you don't have the PPE. You're going to put it back, and if it's still wet, it's going to mold.
Yeah.
So I mean. There's a lot of that going on. So it's either just hire somebody that's licensed, insured, that knows what they're doing. No offense to even like you, but like even contractors don't really know the restoration water damage space.
Yeah, we don't do. We'll do the tear out. That's fine.
Right.
But we will not do the water mitigation or the mold. Actually, it's funny. Jeff actually has a mold remediation license, but we don't do it. Okay. Because we don't do it.
Right.
Like it's not a thing we're practiced
yes.
in.
And that's,
you know what I mean?
At least it's honest, to say, look, this isn't my space. I refer to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Because and so rebuild and then sell. Who knows? Knock it down. I think there's gonna be a lot of that. People are like, it's gonna cost $150,000 to put this place back. Why don't we start fresh?
And in one word too, I talked to a customer who's building. He bought at the end of Canal in St. Pete Beach. He's got all the he bought a $2 million home. tore it down as a single story, probably in the 1970s or 60s, and then he built a modern home up. And so he has that first garage floor, like most modern homes have, flooded out. People are like, where are you going to move now? Well, where are you going to move? Tennessee got hit. Georgia got hit. You can't move inland and just escape it. This could happen to anybody.
Well, are people who are built up, or are they like, oh, I need to move?
No, he had people like that cared about him saying, are you going to move? And he said, well, where am I going to move? Like Tennessee and Georgia got hit just like I got hit here, you know?
Yeah.
There's things that you really can't escape. But if you have a home, and if you do consider buying a home, just making sure it's set up right. You know, there's a lot of benefits.
Yeah, and if you're going to knock it down, definitely build up. Definitely build up.
Well, you have to.
Because you never know.
Well,
yeah, you have to.
Okay.
So with like we're dealing with a lot of this on there are actually several people who had already contracted with us for major renovations. And now they're like, hey, I'm not dealing with this.
Right.
We're tearing it down. We're going to build. And you have to, if you're in a flood zone, an A or an AE flood zone, those are just codes that are used to designate percentage of chance of flooding. You have to build up to usually 1 foot above the base flood elevation, which is the highest it could possibly, highest it could possibly go like ever with like 15-foot storm surge. Okay. So that's where you see the garage on the first floor, but it's like 12 or 13 feet tall.
Right.
Yep.
You have to build to that. Like literally they will not permit something lower.
Good.
Yeah. So anything that does get torn down, it's going back to the right height, or it's not going back at all.
Right.
And plus 13-foot ceilings, way better than,
it's great.
11 or 10.
Big garage.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. So I'm helping out this trailer. I look across, and there is literally a manufactured home sitting on these big poles, and it's probably like 20 feet in the air.
Yeah.
I said.
And it was probably fine, right?
What did he know that we didn't know, dude? They said it was an accident to build it up that high. The thing hurricane strapped onto these poles. I just hate to be the plumber of that job, you know?
You know what's funny? I actually, the first 11 years of my life, grew up in one of those homes. One of the mobile homes that's put up on stilts.
Yeah.
No, it's mobile homes.
I thought, wait a minute, man. So my mom
did it have wheels on, like axles on the bottom?
No, is that what mobile homes called?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Manufactured, I guess now I see the difference.
But so I grew up in one, like literally first 11 years, over in Hudson, actually, near New York Ave, if you know where that is.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's literally like we would, like this event didn't actually affect that house. Like I actually went and checked, like it's fine. Because it's freaking 12 feet up in the air.
Yeah. Are the wheels still on it? Yeah. Now that you say it, is it? And then if the wheels come off, is it still called a mobile home?
No, I think you take. No, I think
that's a question for another time.
Off. Yeah, the wheels
it's a
are
whole
taken
other
off.
podcast.
Yes, it's a whole different. Yeah, exactly. The mobile home podcast.
You said it have wheels on it. I was like, man, they jacked up when they left the wheels on it. Yeah.
Well, sometimes there's like tax advantages to building for wheels, but I do want to get us wrapped here.
Yep.
Yes.
Josh, anything that you want to leave people with on the storm or like Florida's Elite, anything else?
No, just if you do need our services, we'd love to help. But just make sure you do it right, do it safe. Just do it right and do it safe, and hire somebody that's reputable, that's licensed, and knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Don't get scammed by people.
Well, to that point, how do people? What's the best avenue for ensuring that people are actually hiring somebody reputable? Where do they check?
Generally speaking, if you're a restoration company, you probably are okay. Look at the reviews. See if they have a website. Just because there's a lot of people that come out of state too.
Yep.
Like if you're from New York and you see this as a payday, you might be coming down here. But just make sure that you're dealing with somebody that knows the space, knows what they're doing. Just talk to them about the pricing. At least for the demo and stuff, and just don't get bamboozled by somebody.
Yeah. Or save your time and don't do that and just call you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Way simpler.
Exactly.
Way simpler, John.
Everybody call us.
Yeah, but I just want to say one thing too. I talk about all this help and stuff like that, but I love to say, it's great to have a team. It's a team. Us three here made some real magic happen. I couldn't have done it without you. I couldn't have done it without you. And it's just a teamwork right now in the community.
I kind of feel like you could have done it without me.
I don't know. I
might not have
never called Josh.
I provided the truck. I provided the truck.
No, he drove me around. Yeah, but the numbers and stuff, and then we maybe bring more exposure here, and this might go to 10, 20, $30,000. We possibly could move somebody in a house with this podcast right here.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping. If you got the money, because a lot of people do out there, a lot of people are very successful. If you got the money and you can donate, you don't have to donate to me, but if you feel inclined to donate to Brad or whoever, we could help so many people. There are so many people that need money and manpower. Those two things right there are crucial right now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, like I said, that haven't eaten in 3 days, some people haven't even started cleaning out their houses yet.
Just make sure they have PPE, personal protective equipment.
Yeah.
Like you don't
gloves.
Yes.
Goggles. Boots.
N95 mask.
Well, I'm not making
mask.
sure. Yeah, I don't know the
Yeah,
codes.
actually, the mask is really important. I always forget about the mask.
Yeah, mask is probably
the N9, specifically the mask with the little things on it.
or
right?
the
surgical
N95.
mask.
No, we had
yeah, those are fine. Yeah, those are good.
No,
but-
not the big ones. It has like two little squares on it.
It'll say
Yeah.
N95.
Those are
That's a
nightmare.
minimum.
I was wearing one that was just weird. I may have made for a chick because it didn't fit
got
my
like a gas
face.
mask on it.
I can smell the mold. I'm trying to.
Yeah, they have
crimp it.
organic cartridges too. But yeah, just if you're going to try to do it yourself, wear personal protection.
Or we
Yeah,
could take
overprotect.
Or we could take some donations to get Josh to maybe sponsor some free. Well, it's not free. He's going to take the donations. He's going to fund it. And you know what?
guy's
Josh
trying to
gets
monetize
paid.
my podcast.
No, we get Josh paid and we get people taken care of. And it's a free project for the homeowner, not for Josh. Because again, he's already given enough. But I'd love to generate some of that and pick like maybe some special people that need it. Maybe special people that are heroes in the community but don't have the funds to recover.
I will say to that we do also. There's just a lot of work out there. I mean, we have 50 people in the field working 7 days a week right now.
That's awesome.
Doing demo. I mean, it's a lot of manpower that we have right now. And that's just our small little company. And there's a ton of other restoration companies out there.
Yeah.
We do offer service where if somebody did their own demo, they're trying to save some money, we can go in there. I mean, there's a cost to it, but we can go in there afterwards and clean, disinfect, sanitize, and then dry it out. So you did basically half the work for us. We'll come in and knock the other half out. And then you're dry and you can put back after that.
Let's generate some money to get Josh paid to go help out some of these people and like help the people out for free.
So if somebody wants to help, how should they get in touch with you to donate some money?
Holy crap. I never had this prepared. And every time I do like,
My
hey,
Venmo
donate
is-
money.
My Cash App.
Contact me at Contact Home Love Construction.
Oh my
Contact
God, don't
me.
put it on
Put
me.
it back on you.
Hey, you get
fine.
1,000
Contact me.
emails. You get
Yeah,
1,000
He's
emails.
got 2 phones, man. He can't handle this.
727-543-3995. I don't ever have a plan put together because I'm not a specialty to take this money in.
Drake's
But
charity.
we'll figure out if you want to donate. And you know what? If you can cut me out and we can do a direct service. But I'd love to get Josh paid for these projects to make it free for the homeowner, but not free on Josh. Because again, he's donated $5,000 and we appreciate that.
Yeah,
And
that'd be
that's
good.
more than enough. And maybe you'll have 100 people out in the field, because
Payroll's expensive.
it is. Payroll taxes are
Yeah.
expensive. But yes, I appreciate y'all having me on here.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
My
And
first podcast. This is
Josh,
nice.
first podcast.
Yes,
thank you for being
thank
on
you.
here. Pleasure.
thank you,
Drake,
dude.
pleasure.
Yeah, I got a
First
hug
one in the Home Love
Josh.
studio.
Oh, dude, thank you so much.
They're hugging. Yeah. Good. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button below, and we'll see you in the next vid. Do the peace sign, guys. Peace.